The 2026 Young Australian of the Year is Nedd Brockmann.
Nedd Brockmann wants to end homelessness, and he captured the nation's hearts by running thousands of kilometres across Australia to increase awareness for this cause, turning endurance into real impact. Through his runs, Nedd has raised millions of dollars for We Are Mobilise, helping to provide housing and a second chance for those experiencing homelessness. Congratulations, Nedd Brockmann, the 2026 Young Australian of the Year.
I'm a big believer that the more you throw yourself in something really uncomfortable, you will grow as a human being through intentional discomfort. It gives you a greater view on what's important and what isn't. I'm still striving towards ending homelessness. That's obviously the goal of this. I wouldn't be still doing this stuff. It's actually like deeply rooted in me to make sure this ends.
The realities of homelessness in Australia are so much deeper and broader than I think many people realise. Our mind instantly goes to the person on the side of the street that we might walk past, but actually people rough sleeping or on the street is only 6% of that 122,000. There's over 90% or 100,000 fellow Australians who are in secondary or tertiary homelessness. So they might be sleeping in their cars, escaping domestic violence, or kids escaping unsafe situations.
It's often due to things that are outside of people's control. Sometimes that happens to the best of us. When you start really digging deep, it's not so far away from yourself. If you don't have really strong and financially secure support networks around you, it can happen so quickly.
I think I just took action. The first kind of fundraising event I did was the 50 marathons in 50 days in 2020 while working full-time as an electrician.
Good morning. Beautiful day on the trail.
2022, I dreamt up the idea of running across Australia, started in Cottesloe Beach at 5 a.m. and ran across the great nation of Australia, 3,952 kilometres all the way to Bondi Beach.
We're coming out!
I raised a lot more money than I thought even possible. I don't think you could ever imagine it to become what it became.
Ultramarathon runner Nedd Brockmann has completed his 1,000-mile charity run at Sydney Olympic Park, raising more than $2.5 million for homelessness services.
So I ran 1,000 miles around a track. It was the hardest thing I've ever done. And off the back of the 1,000 mile, I wanted to launch what is now called Nedd's Uncomfortable Challenge.
Nedd's Uncomfortable Challenge is a 10-day initiative to get people to get uncomfortable, but also raise vital funds for the homelessness crisis in this country. And it's been pretty epic to see how many people have got on board.
Nedd Brockmann has been absolutely transformative for all that we've been doing here at We Are Mobilise. We've got a pretty special pathway now where Nedd's been raising amazing amounts of funds, which we're utilising to get people into housing.
We've just dispersed almost $2.5 million to people through our programs. It is a huge impact for people right when they need it. He has brought so many people into a movement to do something good for their community.
You know, people like Nedd have shown me that, you know, as a 25-year-old, I don't need to wait till the end of my career to make a difference. I can make a difference now.
Nedd's making the world a better place, and him showing that anything is possible if you're willing to be brave enough to set your name to it, and then if you refuse to give up no matter what happens. And if the rest of the world lived like that, we would all accomplish so much more.
No one chooses to be homeless, and no one deserves to be either, and I truly believe that. Not a single human being would choose to be on the street. It is in my heart to make sure we fix this thing.
Well, I'm a blubbering mess, and I'm very glad I wrote this speech last night. Thank you, and I'm incredibly filled with so much gratitude to the National Australia Day Council. The work you guys have put into making this event so special, and to everyone in this room, the support, the friends, family, but obviously the 33 recipients of their state and territory awards. You all deserve the biggest, respect from me. Yesterday, sitting in the Australian of the Year Awards lunch, I wasn't really sure what to expect. I knew I'd be sitting down to be experiencing an amazing experience, however, I did not expect to be blindsided with overwhelming emotions like I am right now. Fighting back the tears through what was an amazing few hours, one moment encompassed it all. I was pondering what it was about John Farnham's acceptance speech back in 1988 for the Australian of the Year Award. God. But it was passion and pride coursing through my veins, and I had goosebumps all over. You're the Voice was performed by the incomparable Casey Donovan and the Baker Boy Band, and I couldn't stop the tears. In Farnsy's speech, he spoke of national pride. And whilst it is right to instil national pride in our children, we must make national pride encompass humanity. Powerful words. Ever the eternal optimist, I think I see a bit of what I hope for in those words myself. We should be proud of this amazing country. We are so lucky to call it home. But unfortunately, not everyone feels that way. In a country as prosperous as Australia, why is it that 122,000 Australians sleep rough every night? That number should stop us all in our tracks. I grew up in a house of love. I was made to feel 10 feet tall, given endless opportunities, pushed and had support whenever it was needed. I was shown the ropes, told no, disciplined when it was needed. But most importantly, I was always filled with love. Through this crazy running journey I've been on, starting with running 50 marathons in 50 days for a big organisation in 2020, I was wet behind the ears but eager to get a better understanding of homelessness, why so many people didn't feel that love, and how the funds were actually being distributed. I could see that those funds were just going to be tied up in red tape, and it just didn't make any sense. I wanted those funds to get directly into the hands of those needing it most, and that's when I met Noah Yang, the founder of Are Mobilise. Long story short, Noah had a vision to introduce Australia's first ever direct cash transfer program. Like many charities, he just needed the funds to get the ball rolling. So I thought, why not run 4,000 kilometres across this great nation? That ought to do the trick. Then 1,000 miles around Sydney Olympic Park, which probably shaved about 20 years off my life, but here we are. And 3.5 years later, we're just a few $1,000s shy of our first $10 million target. Thank you. As of this week, Mobilise's Kickstarter program has helped their 1,000th person into housing. There is a long way to go, but I believe the opportunity this award brings me is to connect with a new audience of people. Without throwing myself into the metaphorical fire, that will hopefully see the very real possibility to make a homelessness-free future for Australia. And it all starts with showing each and every Australian, no matter their circumstance, that very love I felt as a kid. Thank you all.